Okay, so welcome to another brand new episode of live Forex trading. And my friends are jumping in. So we are about to start. So we are coming live, checking the system in the first few minutes, trying to see how the system in the YouTube is running because we are side by side streaming on YouTube. So some of our friends from the Slack community are jumping in. So it's lovely. It's pretty lovely here. Let's see. Let's check the system one last time. And the mic is perfect on the YouTube. The mic is working in the Zoom. So pretty well. Pretty well. See. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. We are beginning here. We are ready to dive into our charts. We are very ready. All right, let's get my terminal up and running. My terminal's up and running. Now what I'm going to do is, let's get into our chart and see what's happening. Let's start from pound yen. So looking at pound yen from a daily sort of a perspective. Right now, pound yen seems as if it's actually dropping, right? So yesterday's daily candle rejected the top after this sort of a top wick, a healthy top wick. That's a proper rejection on the top. And if that is an actual proper rejection on the top in a daily sort of a time frame, just give me a second. All right, so one of my apps a little bit funny. Let's cut this down. That's way more better. Just like this, and let's get this right here. Okay, so starting from a daily sort of a perspective, yesterday's daily candle actually closed below traveling and relocating. In the meantime, there are a lot of streams being hosted, so this way. Okay, Raja has announced something in our community. Amazing. So yesterday's daily candle, as I was continuing, yesterday's daily candle closed bearish with a heavy sort of a rejection, right? So clearly with the recent sort of a price action in pound yen, price has been actually rejecting this key level on the upside. Price has been rejecting this gray area. Very interesting how clear support, clear resistance is being formed. So the current daily candle is below the previous recent daily support below 154.850 level. So it looks like sales are much more apparent than anything, just looking at it from a daily sort of a perspective. Let's look at it from a weekly perspective too, right? So the weekly candle, current weekly candle is bearish, still bearish. So that's a good sign. If the bias of sell makes sense in a daily time frame, we will keep it that way. In the 4-hour time frame, also it does make a lot of sense for the price to further head down. If you look at the structure in the 4-hour, price may have made a proper resistance on the top, and the price is rejecting that resistance and is heading down nice and slow. So the previous 4-hour candle, look at this. Previous 4-hour candle closed below the support, below 154.850, and this current 4-hour also has a proper top wick. It seems as if price in GBPJPY, pound yen, is actually rejecting this range. If this range was a hardcore range, price is rejecting it with its wick. And it has already broken the previous 4-hour candle's low, so which is a very good sign. Okay, so the 2-hour candle in the 4-hour is going to close in the next 13 minutes. So it's very interesting how this 2-hour candle is going to close. It seems very probable for the price to head down then up right now. Maybe there is some sort of reaction happening around this level. Maybe price is rejecting that level for now, but the structure wise and the recent price action in pound yen does make sense for the price to head down. Okay, so the 2-hour candle is going to close in the next 13 minutes. It's very important to see if this 2-hour candle in pound yen is going to close below 154.835. If the candles start closing below 154.850, we still have a lot of chance. We have a higher chance, higher probability of price moving down. Okay, so that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's actually pretty cool. So my bias in pound yen right now is a sell. Obviously, the price may be rejecting the support. So I'm going to keep an eye open if that rejection is going to actually push price above 154.985, or if the candles are going to stay below 154.850. For me, if the price stays below 154.850, amazing. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, so just give me a second here. Let's go into the 1 hour time frame and see what's happening. Okay, so in the 1 hour, it's very clear that the price has broken the previous 1 hour candles low. Guys who took a sell maybe 30 minutes ago, 1 hour ago, sales around this area did make sense at that point in time. On the break of this candle's low, sales did make sense. Whoever took a sell here, that did make sense with stop loss above the same candle, anticipating the price to further head down and attack the clear range, which it did. It moved around 17 pips. This would have been some sort of trouble, but the price actually moved down. Interesting, isn't it? The price is way more consistent on a 2 hour sort of a structure than an hourly structure. If you look at it, it's way more consistent in the 2 hour. For now, the price is coming back to this ugly range. If this is the ugly range in the hourly, price is trying to go closer to it, which is not a good sign. Again, we want to see, well, I want to see price closing outside of that range and eventually rejecting that range with similar sort of wick like this. Rejecting that range with a wick, something like this, and I would love to see price heading down. Okay, so let's see. My bias in pound yen is sell for now. So if the candles stay below 154.850, the bias is still going to be sell. Just give me a second. I'll be back in just 1 second. Okay, just give me a second. I'll be back in a second. All right, so we are back to it again. So the bias in pound yen, obviously the price has, it seems as if the price is actually rejecting this area right now, 154.660 sort of a area. And if the price is actually rejecting that area, are we going to make some sort of resistance before heading down or something? Right, so it seems as if from 154.985 to 154.660, it is sort of like a big range. And the price right now is rejecting the bottom of the range. So if this is the bottom of the range, price is actually rejecting it. So eventually you want to see price start closing below 154.850 and then maybe a continuation down, feeling the wick and attacking the supports and heading down, right? So structure-wise, in a 2 hour time frame structure, does make a lot of sense. Look at this, does make a lot of sense. So just have to see if this 2 hour candle actually stays below 154.850, and that will be a lovely sign to start with. Okay, so the current 30-minute candle obviously heading back up. So if this, again, one more time, look at this. If this is the range, again, same idea, have to see candles rejecting that range with a wick. So if I see any sort of rejection, my bias for sell will not change. It's still going to remain a sell until price starts breaking 154.985, or even let's say, just give me a second here, or even 155. Just give me a second. 155.40. So 155.40. As long as price stays below this level, it's all good. It's all good for me. So I would love to see price breaking the lows and attacking the clear traffic on the left hand side. It makes much more sense to attack this clear traffic on the left hand side than anything else. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. We will see. We will see. We will eventually see what's happening. Eventually see what's happening. Yep. The 30-minute has rejected the range. As for now, the 30-minute candle is actually rejecting that vicinity. Starting to head down pretty slow, nice and slow. So it's actually a good sign. It's actually a good sign. 15-minute, 5-minute. Okay, it's very close to that rangy sort of a area. Have to see at least a 15-minute candle make resistance around this rangy sort of area. Then the price may continue down. All right, so not that best of a price action happening in pound yen right now, but yeah, obviously. We'll love to see what happens in the next 6 minutes. Let's dive into our gold chart here. So yesterday, gold played out pretty well. The bias of a buy did play out. So we actually took a position around here just 20 minutes. Well, it must be 15 minutes, 20 minutes before the NYSE. So the position was taken around here. And it ran all the way up, hit my TP. I was about to secure half. And the position ran so well that it actually gave me a full amount of profit. It actually hit my TP. So the gold right now is moving up nice and slow. It seems as if it's actually making another higher high. So after the rejection from the bottom, after price reacting with the demand area, look at this. So if this area was a demand area, let me actually do this. This is way more better to look at. So let's look at this. Let's go into 4 hour. So it's very, very simple, right? In a 4 hour sort of a structure, definitely makes sense that price actually tapped into this demand sort of area. After that recent demand sort of a area's reaction and the NFP push, price has been moving up. It has been making support. It has been making high highs and higher lows. So the bias from yesterday is still valid. It seems as if the price is actually moving up nice and slow. So Jackie Yam on YouTube says, hey, hello there, Jackie. I hope you're doing well. So we're looking into pound yen and we're looking into gold at this stage. Just give me a second. I'm going to set up my terminal here at the same time. We'd love to see pound yen and gold moving side by side. So the bias in pound yen is sell at this point in time. So for now, looking into gold, obviously in a 4 hour sort of a time frame, the structure definitely makes sense for furthermore buys. If this is the new high for today, for this current daily candle, that daily candle's high could be tested. So for example, if you go into the daily time frame, it's so much clear that the price is actually moving up in a consistent way, right? It's very simple. Anybody can tell you that, you know what, after diving in, look at this. After diving in this sort of a demand area, price has been moving up, nice and consistent. Prices have been making this sort of lower wick, rejecting the bottom and moving up nice and consistent. And if today's daily candle is doing something similar to this right here, it does make sense for the price to further head up and retest this high and break its own high and further move up. So the bias in gold in sort of a daily, in sort of a 4 hour time frame is definitely buys. We'd love to see a 4 hour candle closing bullish in this gold to see a volume pushing the price even higher, right? So the 2 hour candle in gold is going to close in the next 3 minutes. We'd love to see if this 2 hour candle could eventually form some sort of support, right? If this candle could form some sort of support, then eventually the previously broken resistance could act as a support. And if that's going to be a new support area for us, we can eventually start moving up, all right? We can eventually start moving up. Let's see. let's see. So this is yesterday's position in gold, which was amazing. So this is the today's bias as well. So for now, that's the bias. 2-hour candle does make sense. Just need to wait and see if this 2-hour candle is going to act as a support in our case, right? So the previous 1-hour candles, two of the 1-hour candles closed a dodgy, and the size of the candle's body, the candle's body size in relation to volume also tells us that, you know what, there is a chance the volume on the downside in gold is dying. And if the volume on the downside is dying, where is the price going to move? Maybe it's going to range side by side until there's volume. And maybe when there's a lot of volume in the market, maybe the market's going to move up or down. But the upside move on a daily, on a 4-hour sort of a perspective is way more clear than anything, right? So this current 2-hour candle has to close bullish. That way we can slowly build our bias for buys and maybe execute around, let's see. Reham on YouTube says, are you using magic keys? For now, I don't actually own a magic keys, but I would love to own one. So my plan is to get one magic keys around July. So for now, it's not July yet, so I don't have it. Once I have it, I will obviously post my review, you know, which obviously has been turning out to be amazing. People are there in the global platform have been giving amazing reviews about the magic keys. So for now, I don't own it, but I would love to own one. All right. So for now, the bias of buys are still making sense. Prices are rejecting the bottom, and the rejections are getting higher and higher. So eventually, price are actually moving above 1896.95. Makes much more sense for cleaner sort of a buys in gold. But let's go into the smaller time frame and see if there's any early position taking. Can we actually take an early position? Does it make sense? Let's give it a try and draw our channel to our magical trend line sort of a channel. Is the price engaging with the channel? Sometimes it's very interesting to see how the price actually acts according to the channel too, right? It's actually interesting to see how the price acts with the channel. So look at this. If this is a 15-minute channel that I've drawn just with a basic, basic sort of a parameter, nothing special regarding it here. Just wanted to see maximum engagement at the price, maximum rejection at the price around these key levels. So look at this. This is one of the levels. Price has been interacting. Another level, price has been interacting several times. So it's very simple to say that, you know what, I'm going to wait for price to break 1896.95, then I'm going to see if I can take buys. But if there's going to be an early buying situation, the price has to further move up, maybe rejecting the channel like this with its wick. So if the price is going to interact with the channel several times, at the time of volume, if it's actually going to reject this channel, we may get a upside move. All right, so my bias in gold right now is still buys. For any sort of sell, I have to wait for the candles to actually break below. Let's say, yeah, I mean the idea of sell doesn't look good at all, to be honest. For me, somebody else can come in and argue and say, you know what, oh no. I'm looking for a sale right now, but it doesn't make sense in my head. If somebody comes in right now and tells me, oh, there's a sale coming in, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. Okay, so the previous 1-hour candle in gold has closed bullish. This 1-hour candle retracing down, so that's a good sign. For the candle to move up, candles retracing down right now does make sense, okay? And looks like it's actually a clean day. Wednesday today. Actually, Tuesday today is a clean day. Looks like there's no major news in USD, no major news in pound. So maybe the pairs are going to move consistent, right? Or the pairs are going to show us regular sort of volume. So let's see. Raham says, will it be a good idea to enter a buy order in gold? Oh, that's something I can't tell you right now. It's up to you to decide if you want to take something, right? So to take a position, a basic criteria is that you need to have a trading plan of entry and your own position size and your exit. And when that matches, then only you enter. You don't enter when somebody else tells you to enter, okay? That's way too risky of a idea to follow. You need to have your own trading plan. and you need to sketch out your trading plan in your trading view like this and say that, you know what, I'm expecting for buys from here, from there, and that way it'll make much more sense, right? Okay, so the wick on the top of the previous hourly candle does make sense for this current hourly candle to further move up and fill. So there is a smaller wick on the bottom of this current hourly candle. So we'd love to see more decent wick than this smaller wick. For now, the price seems as if it's actually interacting with the channel and rejecting it. So the previous 30-minute candle closed bearish, and this current hourly candle is heading up. If there could be a possible support forming around this area, we may get a continuation up. Okay, we may get a continuation up. So let's see. The bias is still bias here. The bias hasn't changed. Our 15-minute candle, so the current 15-minute candle rejecting that channel pretty well. Okay, 5 minutes seems as if it's almost arranging side by side. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see if the price is actually going to move up. There's clear traffic on the left-hand side, to be honest. If the price starts rejecting this channel and starts moving up with volume, there is a high chance it can actually move up. Palin here says hi. Hi, Palin. I hope you're doing well. So the current 5-minute candle, current 1-minute candle has rejected the channel one more time. Look at this. It's way clear. And we are only in the first few minutes of the hour. It's very interesting how it's moving up. Nice and slow, right? It's actually moving nice and slow. As I said, so the clear wick on the top of the previous 1-hour candle has been filled nice and slow. Look at how the current hourly candle is moving up. I actually wanted to see a decent wick on the bottom before the price could actually move up. So the price is moving up very nice and slow. Very nice and slow. So we'd love to see this 30-minute candle at least closing bullish. That way I will see if I can take any sort of position. I would love to see candles closing above 1896.95. That way it's much more clear to look for buys in this clear sort of range with a simple analogy of candles testing the daily high, because the momentum, because the idea of movement in the candles in an overall time frame, this it could be bullish, right? So the momentum could be still bullish. So to see that, I have to first see candles making support. 100% candles making support. If this current 30-minute candle could make some sort of support, that'd be a good sign. That could be a good sign for me. Let's see. All right, so the 15-minute candle is still bullish and is outside the channel, which is a good sign. Okay, so going into the pound yen pair one more time. So for now, the candles, a previous 1 hour, previous 2-hour candle in pound yen has closed bearish below 154.850, as we discussed. So it seems as if the previous 2-hour candle actually rejected the bottom. It's a very obvious rejection from the bottom. So is this wick? Is the wick on the previous 2-hour candle a range for the candle to further fuel down? Because the structure does make sense for the candle to head down, right? In a 2-hour sort of a time frame, it does make sense for the candles to further head down. And it has already moved down too. That's an interesting thing. That's an interesting point to note down, right? As a trader, we can easily anticipate the further move or the next move in a pair. But we have to also be careful that, you know what, our anticipation has already happened. Is there a chance that's going to be fulfilled one more time? Well, there could be a chance if there's a lot of volume and if a path has been paved already. For example, previous market have paved this pitch road for us to drive our car. And if our car is this current candle grabbing its fuel from the top with this pipeline, look at this. It can actually drive down through the pitch road. We just have to wait for the candles to sort of reject this range. If the candles start rejecting this range, there's a high probability at the time of volume, after breaking its own low, it can actually give us a proper stop loss sort of a point there, and the candles could actually move down. So my bias is still sell. In pound yen, the bias is sell. In gold, the bias is still buys. We just have to see if the candles are going to move, because the range seems almost as if it has been achieved, right? So this range here has been achieved. We'd love to see if the candles start rejecting this range one more time and start breaking its own low, giving us clear signs for sell. For now, the price is just hanging around this range. Let me see if I can draw the range for you guys. This range. Sorry about that. This range right here. And that is not only a 2-hour sort of a range, that is a 1-hour range as well. Look at this. That is a clear 1-hour range. Look at this. Okay, and the current 1-hour candle is doing something similar to the previous 1-hour candle. There is no buys for me until the price starts breaking 155 or 40 level. Somebody else can come in and argue with me, but that's my level, and I'm gonna stick to that for now. Okay, I'm gonna actually stick with that. So the 30-minute, look at this. The range is so apparent, isn't it? You can see the range. Look at this. Price has been ranging from side to side. It has been moving. Look at this. The candles has been moving like this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So this is a no trade range for me. I'm not going to take any positions there. Maybe this. This is nothing. Maybe this is just a rejection at the bottom of the range. Now, if I actually consider this as a whole range, from here to here, a whole range, price rejected the bottom of the range. For now, the price is heading back in this hardcore range in the middle. If it could actually reject, let me clear it a little bit. I need to upgrade my drawing skills. I actually need to upgrade my drawing skills. That's what I need to do. If the price could actually start rejecting this range and start heading down with its long wick on the top, I am looking to take sales than looking to take sales than anything else. Okay, looking to take sales than anything else. All right, let's see. Let's see what's happening on gold, because gold fascinates me a lot. You know, gold does move fast, you know, and the ideas about channel works with gold, the idea about heavy volume inducing in gold's market at any session, it just fascinates me a lot. So it looks like the gold is moving up nice and slow. It's actually moving up nice and slow. So the current hourly candle is moving up very nice. Looks like it actually did a very close by engagement with the channel. Look at this. Look at the rejection, the way the hourly candle rejected the channel. And if there was enough push in the market, it's pushing up. We are coming very close to 1896.95. So very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, seems like gold's going to move up. And this is the volume time, pre-New York. Sometimes it moves up and you cannot just catch it. You cannot catch it sometimes. Sometimes it moves way too early. So sometimes you can't catch it. That way you just enjoy your price action. That way you enjoy that, you know what? Oh, man, I called it out. I called out that gold's going to move up. It seems as if it moves up, but it's going to move up, but it is what it is. So sometimes that's the situation, right? You cannot rush into any sort of position sometimes. Look at this. So the range on the 5-minute looks so much clearer. So the price in gold is coming back to the previous range. Look at this. If this was a naked chart, you can see clearly that the current 5-minute candle is actually moving up. After breaking this resistance, after making this support, price is moving up, making high highs and high lows, and it seems as if it can actually achieve this clear range here. So let's calculate the range from the current price. From the current price, it's in about 16 to 17 pips of range. So we'd love to see a candle making a lower wick, a decent lower wick, okay? We'd love to see candle making a decent lower wick like this previous 5-minute candle and further move up. So that would be lovely. That will be lovely than anything else. Okay, so we are still waiting here. Still waiting. Waiting and waiting. 1896.95. Waiting and waiting. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to move up. Oh, I got my friend Jamil here. Wow, after a long time. Jamil has shown up after a long time. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very nice. So we are still waiting. On the 5-minute, it was actually very apparent. Maybe on the break of this high, on a 5-minute sort of a time frame, if you actually ignore this noise on the left-hand side, on gold on the top, and if you actually read the market properly with a higher time frame sort of a bias by your side. Hey, Jamil says, hey, everyone. Hello. Mr. Jamil, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, mate. All right, so for now, the price is moving up nice and slow in gold. You know, sometimes, yep, you just can't catch it. So this sort of trade was too advanced for a beginner trader. This was actually advanced. If anybody in the YouTube was like surprised by how the gold moved right now, don't be surprised. This is how gold moves. Sometimes you just miss out. A possible trade was once when this candle made its low on the break of this high. On the break of this 5-minute candle's high, that was a trade. Your stop loss would have been in about 15 pips below that entry, would have been in about 15 pips back in the channel, anticipating the price to move up without retracing down, and anticipating the price to move up about 19 pips in the range, maybe to 1896 in about 16 pips of range, and all the way up maybe about 26 pips of range. So it was pretty good. Pretty good, to be honest. Pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. Yep. Was an advanced trade here. An advanced trade on gold. Advanced trade on gold. It looks like it's going to move up even higher. The way the previous 15-minute candle closed, there's a higher chance the price in gold is going to continue even higher. There may be some sort of glitches, some sort of trouble around this area, because look at the way how the candles are moving here. And if you look at the clock, what time was it? It was around these sort of movement. This was this was from the Asian session to the London start. So the price ranged so heavily from the Asian session today till the London start. So pretty crazy. And the price is right now very close to it. So if there's enough volume in the market, previous 15-minute candle closing strong bullish with healthy bullish sign with the proper bullish posture is a very good sign that gold is going to move up. Let's see. Let's see if that's going to happen. All right, so in about 13 minutes, we will get this 30-minute candle close. So the current 30-minute candle is going to close in the next 13 minutes. It's very interesting to see if this current 30-minute candle actually stays outside this channel. If I have to relate the price action with also the channel in gold right now, I would love to see candles rejecting this channel, and staying outside the channel for any possible bullish bias. Okay, so I have to see candles closing bullish. So let's wait. Let's wait. We are in about, let's say 50. Oh, we are 43 minutes away from the New York Open. Maybe that's going to induce some volume in the market. Let's see. Let's see and wait. Previous 15-minute candle closed strong bullish. For now, the current 15-minute candle retracing down pretty hard. So maybe that could be a wick formation on the bottom before the price could head up. All right, so let's wait. Let's wait and see. See how it's so much clearer on a 15-minute to see candles moving up with steps. Maybe this could be a potential step here. Let's see. As long as this candle respects this support, looking at the recent price action, there could be a bullish movement. All right, pound yen moving up nice and slow. Prices have, so the previous 15-minute candle closed above 154.850 right now, and the price is in this very dirty range in pound yen. I usually stay away from dirty ranges in pound instruments because it doesn't act well. It doesn't act well near these instruments. It either pushes through that level in just one go, or it moves with a lot of difficulty. So I don't want to be a part of difficult moves here. I want to be part of the cleaner moves. I want to be part of the juicy moves. And what is a juicy move here? Maybe this. Prices above 154 or 40. That could be a juicy move. Right there. Okay. So that's something I'm waiting here for. That's something I'm actually waiting for. Let's see. Let's see. On a 2-hour sort of a perspective, pound yen bias is still sell. For me, the bias hasn't changed yet. Let's look at gold at the same time. So the 4-hour candle in gold is going to close in the next hour and 40 minutes. For now, the 4-hour is still bullish. If there's any sort of sell coming in, this 4-hour candle has to first flip bearish. So for now, looking at the 2-hour candles in gold, current 2-hour candle, still bullish, is close to that 2-hour resistance. So a safer sort of a buying position, or a safer sort of a confident setup, would be above 1896. But obviously interesting how price is actually engaging with the channel, and the price is outside the channel, right? And I've seen this happen several times. In this smaller time frame, the price starts rejecting this sort of channel and starts moving in the higher time frame, sort of a consistent way. Okay, so the current hourly candle has 39 minutes left for its close. Let's look at the 30-minute. 30-minute is going to close in the next 9 minutes. Would love to see if this current 30-minute candle stays bullish, and there could be some sort of support being formed in the 30-minute time frame. Would love to see that. 9 more minutes left for this 30-minute candle to close. Looking at the 15-minute candle, it's retracing down. We are almost halfway through the current 15-minute candle. It has 9 more minutes left. It'll be lovely to see this current 15-minute candle flipping bullish. That way, the direction will be way more clear, right? It will be way more clear than anything else. Let's see, we are very close to the halfway through of the 15-minute. Previous 5-minute candle closed bearish, almost sort of like a resistance being formed here. So maybe it's actually acting out near this dirty sort of a range just at the left-hand side. So we will see. We will see. Let's see. Let's look at 1 minute as well. Gold moves with such a great volume. You know, it's actually interesting how you can actually monitor the gold's price actually in a smaller time frame scale too. In 1 minute, the price right now is sort of moving up, right? It's very simple how gold is moving up in a 1 minute time frame, isn't it? Move up, move up. So let's see. Let's see if this is being formed here, right, at this stage. Is the candles going to push up in the 1 minute time frame? Maybe. Right? Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. 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 Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so we are halfway through this current 15-minute candle. We have 7 minutes left for this current 15-minute candle to flip. So part of the 15-minute candle, the candles retrace down. It's very logical for the candles to grab its liquidity to move up if it's actually moving up, right? So the candles becoming red right now does make sense to move up if it's actually moving up. So maybe in the next few minutes or in its final few minutes, it's actually going to push up. So that's actually a good sign. That's actually a good sign. Let's see. Where is the cleanest range I can attack gold from? 36 pip range from 1898.65 all the way up to 1902.35 in about 37 pips of range. I'm going to keep my eyes open from 1898.65 sort of a level. Definitely. My bias hasn't changed yet. Let's look at pound yen at the same time. Let's see what's pound yen doing here. For now, the pound yen is still hanging around that area. All right, so maybe we are going to get some sort of rejection. Look at this current 30-minute candle in pound yen. Looks like it's actually rejecting that level. We have to see candles finishing bearish. That way, it's way more clear that, you know what, price may be rejecting that level. And if it's rejecting that level, where is the price going to go? More than likely on the downside. If it's going to go downside, the bias is still sell. The bias hasn't changed. So we will see. We will see what's going to happen in pound yen. All right, so the 4-hour candle is still hanging around. In the 4-hour, makes sense for the price to head down. 2-hour makes sense for the price to head down. The only thing is it actually has rejected the bottom with a very long wick, right? So if that is just a pathway paved by the candle to further fill for the next candle, that does make sense. But if this is a rejection from the downside, maybe have to wait a little bit. Have to wait for a proper resistance to form. All right, so I have to wait for a proper resistance to form. Let's look at the hourly candle. Looking at the hourly candle is going to close in the next 34 minutes. We'd love to see if this hourly candle could start flipping bearish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alerts once this hourly candle starts flipping bearish. I'm going to keep an eye open for any possible sells, because in structure-wise trading analogy, it makes sense for the price to head down. So just waiting. Waiting is a better choice right now. Okay, waiting is a better choice. Let's look at gold at the same time. That's the old Nokia ringtone. Old Nokia ringtone. Interesting. Interesting and interesting. Interesting and interesting. Current hourly candle still bullish. 30-minute candle still bullish in gold. Let's see. 3 more minutes left for this 30-minute candle to close. 15-minute candle has 2 more minutes left for its close. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see if this 15-minute candle starts flipping, or if it's actually going to stay bearish here. What's going to happen? Are we going to get the upside move only in the next few hours when there's a lot of volume? Maybe the case. That may be the case. Sorry about that. Did you see how the price reacted with the channel here? Interesting, isn't it? The engagement with the channel is actually interesting. Something to study. Something interesting to study, to be honest. Okay, 15-minute candle has 1 more minute left for its close, and we are 32 minutes away from the New York Bank Open. 32 minutes away from the New York Bank Open. All right, so the 15-minute candle bearishing down pretty hard at this stage. Maybe there's a little hardship around this this traffic on the left-hand side, having a little hard time there. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Do 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 do. I hope it's not too loud. If it's too loud, just let me know. I will lower down the music for you guys. All right, let's look at pound USD at the same time, when often pound yen is ranging and gold is ranging. There are consistent move in pound USD, pound AUD. So I also capitalize on these sort of movement, right? So let's look at pound AUD at the same time. Pound AUD, pound AUD is ranging side by side. There's nothing happening in pound AUD. We'd love to see candles close above 18,300 sort of a level. Let's see if that is the case in pound AUD. If the candle starts closing above, there's a clear range. Wow. Wowie kawaii. Alright, so the hourly candle in gold is still bullish, has 29 more minutes left for its close. Hourly candle still maintaining that bullish posture. Previous 30-minute candle closed bullish with healthy signs, with a proper wick on the top, with a proper wick on the bottom, has a decent body, and the current 30-minute candle is hanging around the same difficulty area right now. Let's see how we are going to move with volume here. Previous 15-minute candle has closed bearish. If the current 15-minute candle starts breaking the previous 15-minute candles low, and if the candle starts closing bearish, that way we can actually start building bias for sell. Maybe start building bias for sell. And if the candles are going to start pushing down with a lot of volume, maybe candles closing below, there is a range of about 22 pips. All right, from the support, from the break of the support, it's in about 23 pips range. So maybe that could be the case too. Just for the sake of being fluid in the market, you can actually find out support and resistance, and at the time of volume, if it does make sense, well, it does make sense. So we're just waiting here. The best idea right now is to wait and see if this current 15-minute candle actually closes bearish below the previous 15-minute candles are low, or if it's actually going to push up with a lot of volume. Let's see. Yeah, so the pairs I look at, pound AUD, ranging pretty hard. Pound USD. Oh, let's get pound AUD one more time. Pound AUD, pound AUD. Yeah, pound AUD not looking the best at this stage. Pound USD not looking the best as well. Pound USD. Yeah, gold does make sense. You know, gold does make a little sense than anything else in terms of higher time frame movement. So if this is going to be tested, if there's enough volume in the market, we may push up with proper candles. Let's see. Hourly candle has 26 more minutes left. 30-minute candle, current 30-minute candle retracing down at this time. 30-minute candle retracing down. Let's see. Pound yen hourly candle in the current stage, it looks like it's ranging side by side. We love to see candles breaking its own low, moving down in this clear sort of a wick and feeling that target. So let's see what's going to happen. If the candles are going to move nice and slow on the downside, or if it's going to actually range, just like any other pound instrument right now in the market. Pound AUD ranging, pound USD ranging, you know, GJ seems like it's ranging too. So it's obvious too because it's Monday, right? So Monday, Tuesday usually is the setup sort of a day for the whole week. So if the market is setting up right now, gathering orders here and there, it does make sense. So maybe at the time of Wednesday, Thursday, or even Friday, we're gonna get some sort of consistent move at that time. Right now, what it's doing does make sense. Previous 30-minute candle, 15-minute candle close above 154.850. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I would love to stay away from this range. Pound yen looks very funny. It also seems as if it's actually doing a fake out on the downside, but I have to be careful. Have to be careful. So the current, so the previous 15-minute candle has respected the previous 15-minute candles low, and the current 15-minute candle is also respecting the left previous candles low. There is still signs for a bullish posture. Okay, we haven't dived into a hardcore bearish sort of a sentiment movement here, so waiting, still waiting. 5-minute right now in gold seems it's ranging side by side. Maybe there is some other gathering happening here, so let's see if the orders are being collected. Market is ranging, does make sense. Let's see if we're going to get a proper upside move today. A clear sort of range is once when price starts breaking 1898.65. Okay, a clear sort of range is above that, definitely. So keeping an eye open for that. Sometimes we come to the charts, we come to the market with, sorry about that, with a simple expectation of, you know, grabbing a simple 10 to 12 pips move, sometimes with a simple hope, simple idea of grabbing some sort of move in the market, and the market doesn't give you anything. It just ranges side by side. So what do? You just call it a character building day. And it seems as if today could be a character building day. Let's see how the volume actually causes the price in gold, price in pound yen to move. If it's not going to move anywhere, it's a good idea to not take any funny setups. Rather, be on the positive side when you don't have any losses. If you don't have a loss, you're on the positive side too. Okay, so think about that for a second. Definitely. We are 21 minutes away from the New York market open. Palin says trading psychology 101. That's correct. That's actually correct. You know, trading is a lot about your psychology than your technical moves in the market. You don't need to be an expert on clicking buttons here and there. You just have to be an expert on the game of your own mind. Can you control your mind or not? If you can't control your mind, if you can't control your thought processes, man, your mind is taking control over you. You have to take control. You have to take control over your mind, right? So that's how you'll be a winner. Trading Psychology 101. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, there's still chances for the price to further move up. You know, it's ranging on a 5-minute, which is almost about nothing. Higher time frames still making sense to move up. If the candles are willing to move down, it has to start breaking the lows. It has to start breaking its own low, previous candles low, start closing bearish, then only we can build buys for sell. For now, it's too early of me to call out sells. Okay, I definitely see price moving up. Well, buys, here we are. Buys, maybe it's happening. Maybe the volume's going to push it up. But I'm waiting to see if I can actually capitalize on the clearer side, on the easy part of the market, than this hard part, right? This is going to be an advanced trade, man. This is an advanced trade. A beginner trader will not understand this. He or she will be like, oh, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, no, I don't understand. That is an advanced trade, right? So a trade around this area where you target this clear range. Oh, sorry about that. I need to actually upgrade my drawing skill. That's what I need to do. I actually need to take drawing lessons here. For the that'll be good. Yeah, it's gonna move up, man. Seems like it's gonna move up. There's a higher chance of price moving up than moving down, so we will see. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. So the current 30-minute candle moving up nice and slow, has a proper decent wick on the bottom. There's a clear, oh, it's moving up, man. It's moving up. Gold is moving up. As we called out, gold is moving up. There's a higher chance gold is going to move up. Higher chance gold is going to move up than anywhere else. And it's moving up nice and easy. Nice and easy, sir. Pretty nice and easy. Amazing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beauty. Amazing. Wow. It's moving up. Yeah, it's an uptrend. You know, Palin says gold is an uptrend. Yeah, it does make sense for the price to move up than anything else. So this setup we discussed about right at the beginning, on the break of this candle's high, a buy around here did make sense, but it was an advanced trade, obviously, you know. So I wouldn't recommend traders taking, for example, beginner traders taking that sort of trade. But obviously, for example, traders like me, because I know what I'm doing, I take those trades. I do take those trades. There's no hesitation. I read the market, you know, it does make sense. For now, the candle's moving up. I will now try to see if I can capitalize on 1898 from ranges above 1898 than anything else. Okay, whoever took a position around here that we discussed, whoever took a position around here about with a 15 pips stop loss earlier on the stream, we discussed about it. Whoever took it, looking at the clear traffic on the 5-minute candles, amazing. Whoever took this trade, amazing. That was a trade. Yeah, that was a trade. Obviously, price range a little bit. We read the market throughout the time being. We read what was happening, right? I wouldn't lie. I actually took one position down there, and I secured 20 pips. I secured. I wouldn't call out difficult trades, right? So this was a trade I back tested. This is the same trade I've been calling out in my London streams too. So people who followed me in the London stream, this is the same trade I was calling out in London stream, and this is the same thing that's happening right now in the New York. So I actually took it. A small position, but you know, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Pretty good. So I'm going to see if I can capitalize from 1898.65 than anything else right now. Okay, so this is my trade right now. Look at this. So this is my trade right now. Boom, boom, boom. Look at this. I actually secured a small position from that level to here. Look at this. So I actually took it from that level, right? So it's still running. It's still running. You know, there's a higher chance it's going to move up. So we will see. It does make sense for the price to move up than anything else. We will see. We will see how it's going to move, right? So it was an advanced trade, not an easy trade, obviously, you know. Was not something easy. A little bit of technical involved and market reading involved into it. We will see. It looks like it's going to move up nice and easy here. Pretty good. Pretty good, to be honest. The trade happened New York, pre-New York. So the market started moving around pre-New York today. Did make sense. Did make sense. So I'm waiting for a pound yen sell, and Waiting for pound yen sell. Waiting for gold to enter that clear range. And I'm going to try and attack the market once again around that area. For now, the hourly candle in pound JPY is, it looks like as if it's actually rejecting that top range. If this hourly candle in pound yen closes bearish, there is a higher chance the pavement that has been paved by this candle is going to be filled. Okay, if somebody understands that idea, amazing. If you don't, you need to start looking into how candles move. That's all I can say. So the current 2-hour candle is bearish in pound JPY. It's volume time right now. And I think there's going to be a good move here in pound yen. I'm just asking myself if I should actually take it or not. Right? It's actually a little bit funny. A little bit funny. I always mention this in my stream. This is something I always do, right? So this is something I do. When there's candles with these sort of long wicks all around, look at this. Long wicks, long wicks, long wicks, long wicks. I usually stay out of the market when there's price action like this. And I try to search a consistent market than anything. But in terms of structure in a 4-hour, 2-hour in pound yen, it does make sense for the price to head down. That range has been achieved already. That's the only funny thing about this trade. The range has been... Oh my God, what's happening? Come on. So the range has been already achieved, right? That's the only funny thing about this trade. But it does make sense for the price to head down. It makes so much sense in pound yen to head down then head up. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye open if I can take any sort of sell here. Let's see. Obviously, guys in YouTube, I'm really sorry I didn't call out the gold trade. I just said there was a possibility. I obviously couldn't give you that position because that's something hard. That's something difficult, you know. That's not an easy position. What I took, it's actually a hardcore, explosive sort of a scalping opportunity right here. As the candles were moving, everything was red. The reaction with the channel was red. You know, the position was taken. Yep. So it is what it is. Sometimes it is what it is. Is this the pattern of the triangle you mentioned yesterday? Today we have a reverse triangle. That's correct. So it's basically supply and demand within that range, within that session, within that structure, within that. So it could be within that time frame. It could be within that session. It could be within that week. Could be within that daily sort of a range. So yeah, that's the thing. So if you look at it, Paling just pointed out that the power of the triangle. So my mentor's mentor used to talk about this all the time, and I didn't understand at the beginning, but it made so much sense as I was back testing later. He always used to talk about this. The power of triangle, yes. And Paling here got it correct. Paling here got it correct. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. You will start seeing this everywhere. Trust me, as you begin to backtest this, you will start seeing this everywhere. Everywhere. And when you read the market from a higher time frame to lower time frame sort of a perspective, you know what your overall bias is, and that way you can back it up with the smaller time frame reactions, smaller time frames maneuver. So yeah, that's what it is. You have to backtest and you have to be comfortable with your trades. You know, you have to sort of be comfortable. If I call this trade out to another professional trader, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" They're gonna argue with me, saying that, you know what? They're gonna talk about this. They're gonna talk all about this. This clear, this dirty range. Look at this. Look at the candles, how they're moving. Look at the wick. It's having a hard time. So what? So what? The price just moved through it. So that's something you have to back test, and you have to be comfortable in the way your pairs move, right? And this is how gold moves. Sometimes it moves perfect. Sometimes it dips down in your position. It breathes like this. The position actually was breathing for some time, and it's only moving now with consistent sort of a movement right now. And it makes sense for the price to move up. I'm going to start attacking price above 1890, 865 than anything else right now. We will see. So the New York market's going to open up in the next 8 minutes. Maybe that's going to induce some sort of volume in market in gold. So I'm going to keep it. Oh, it's moving, man. It's moving. I actually closed my position, whole position, with 20 pips profit. So if guys have been following the streams from right at the beginning, I was talking about the channel reaction. I was talking about the structure, and I was talking about whatnot, right? So I was talking about everything else. Ooh, it's moving. I was actually talking about everything else. So watch this. When prices react with the channel and the higher time frame sort of a maneuver aligns with your setup, you actually get 50 to 60 pips of profit with this sort of setup. 50 to 60 pips of profit. But you have to be happy with even 10 sometimes. You know, I secured with 20 pips profit. It is what it is. I secured 20 pips. Oh, and pound yen is moving. I'm going to keep it. Oh, man. Come on. Should I look at gold or pound yen? Pound yen is moving down here. Nice and easy. There's a high chance the pound yen is actually going to move down now. So the current 30-minute candle has broken the previous 30-minute candle's low. And on a 15-minute sort of a time frame, candles have made resistance as well. If somebody took a position right after the break of the 30-minute candle's low, that does make sense. That does make sense, but the only thing now you have to be careful about is the New York Bank Open. If the New York Bank Open is going to push the price even higher before moving down, then it is what it is. You just got screwed by the market. But it does make sense for the price to head down than anything else, okay? Yep. Yuppie. And gold is moving so beautiful. Look at this. This was all called out live. We talked all about it. We actually talked all about it. Sometimes you enjoy the price action. Sometimes you take some advanced trade. Sometimes you just sit there, you know, you just sit there, call out trade, don't take it. So this was a trade I actually called out for several streams, and sometimes I missed it because sometimes I doubt it, right? But when I back it up with some logical confluences, it does make sense. So I took it. I just didn't call it out because beginner traders wouldn't understand what's happening. And they will be greedy. They will want that 50, 60 pips out of the trade. They wouldn't understand that there was a chance that near about New York Open, the price may retrace down. There could be high volume. For example, if anybody is in the similar sort of position right now, all they have to think about is managing their position. So managing their position could include securing some profit, maybe managing their stop loss, and furthermore, all right? So that's the first thing they have to keep in the back of the head. As they are closer to New York Open, it may push up with a lot of volume, or it may actually retrace the price even lower for its premium grab, as we discussed yesterday as well, for its premium grab before heading up. Okay, maybe in 1 minute it makes so much sense to move up. Look at this. 1 minute makes so much sense to move up. Amazing. Amazing. Beautiful. Bum, 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 bum. Beautiful. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. and we are still moving. Jackie M says, good trade, bro. Thank you for that. I'm sorry I didn't call it out because, you know, there are reasons I don't call out trades like this. But my friends in Zoom, they know I took it. I don't have to tell them I took it. They know the way I'm talking or the way I'm actually giving out the positions. They know the possible trades. And it's going to move up. See how I said this sort of setups give you in about 50 to 60 pips. Look at how much this has moved in about 36 to 30 or 35 pips right now. So this setup has given me in past, it has given me up to 50 to 60 pips. And I slowly learned that, you know what, being happy with 10 to 20 pips is good. All I got to do is secure 10 pips every day out of the market. All I got to do is secure 10 pips to 20 pips. So for now, this gold position was a smaller lot. Because again, for me as a trader, this setup alone is itself a very advanced setup, right? I don't want to take a heavy position. So I use a smaller lot with this position, okay? Smaller lot, but yeah, it is what it is. You know, you will know if you're experienced in the market, if you trust your analysis, you would trust your setups. And my friends in the Zoom, they know I took it. They know without me telling, I took a position here. This was not a very comfortable position to share with beginner traders. So, all right. So Palin here says, do you recommend using a trailing stop? Oh, gold is moving, man. It's actually going to move up. I would love to see a 5-minute candle close above this range. That way, a retest around 1898 would be a perfect opportunity before heading up. That way, we can get a retest of the high, and that'll be beautiful. That would be beautiful. Ooh, it's moving up. Oh my God! I closed with 20 pips profit. For now, it has moved about 40 pips. So as I said earlier, this sort of move gives you about 50 to 60 pips. So if it's going to give 50 pips, amazing. I secured at 20 pips, so it is what it is. It is what it is. And more than likely, it's going to move up, man. There's a high chance it's going to move up than anything else here. And we are very close to New York session open. And this is the New York open now. Let's see how the price is actually going to allow the candles to move down before heading up. It's still fine because we will still believe that the trend hasn't changed yet. Bank open doesn't change the trend. Trend. It just allows the pair to actually grab its liquidity. The market grabs its liquidity, its premium price before heading up. So I'm comfortable for the price to actually dip down, do its maneuver and all of its stuff before heading up. So it does make sense. Does make sense. All right, let's answer some question from YouTube here. All right, so Palin says, do you recommend using a trailing stop loss with gold pair or no? Okay, so personally, I used to use a trailing stop loss, but after some time, I learned that, you know what, I'm not going to let my position run for a long time in gold. If I'm inside the gold trade, it's only going to last me about 5 to 10 or 5 to 15 or 5 to 30 minutes. So I'm not going to use a trailing stop loss. Trailing stop loss makes sense in a pair, in a position, if it's running for a long time. When I'm inside the gold pair, when I'm trading gold pair, my idea in the back of the head is to get in, get out in an explosive sort of way. I don't want to stay there with my frozen hands, because that doesn't suit my personality, right? So when it comes to your personality, if you're comfortable using trailing stop loss, use it. But you have to ask yourself the question, are you comfortable using trailing stop loss? Sometimes trailing stop losses actually comes to be a disadvantage as well. It does. Why don't you use trailing stop loss manually? Why don't you manually trail your stop loss on your own, rather than allowing the market to actually trail your stop loss and it gives you about 20 pips and it stops you out? I'm not comfortable with that idea. If I'm in a position, I want to be there for 5 to next 15 minutes, secure the profits, get out of there and call it a day. See, I've secured my profits already, and I don't really care how the market moves, right, at this point in time. If it's going to give me some sort of quality setup right now, I'll be happy to take it, but that's the idea. So you have to ask yourself the question, are you comfortable or not? So another friend says, Salwa says, can we buy gold above 1898. Oh my god. So Salwa, buddy, I don't think so. I cannot answer that question, Salwa. You have to ask yourself the question, are you comfortable or not? I can't, man. I gave all of my bias, all of my setup here, so I don't know. For now, it's the first few minutes of the New York Bank Open, so you really don't want to play with the market at this hour because it's actually very volatile. So do you want to be a part of a market massacre? If you do want to, so be it. But right now, see, as I said, the market is retracing down. It may push up really heavily right at the first minute of the market open, but I am not comfortable being there. People who are in this position have to think about how I can secure and manage this position than anything else, man. Obviously, 100%. And Jackie Yam says, it's fine, bro. Actually, you don't need to be sorry for not calling out, bro. You don't have the responsibility for that. 100%. Jackie Yam understands. I love it. I love it. So my Zoom friends, they know it. They know. For example, I don't have to call out names too. They heard my bias. They heard every technical aspect of the candle reading I did. And if it makes sense, they took it with me. If they didn't take it, it is what it is. Yeah, so it is what it is. And Palin says, thank you for providing so much value. Oh, absolutely. You know, I love the idea of sharing values and ideas. You know, sharing my idea not only helps you guys, but it actually is a two-way process. As I said yesterday, it does help me a lot as well. Me teaching you guys is only allowing me to refresh all of the knowledge, all of the back testing, all of the technical aspects of stuff I learned over time. And somebody coming into the stream asking me question is not going to make me irritated, but it's only going to allow me to open up my mind and build this new skill of helping somebody else with my value. So that's the thing, you know. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, Saji says, hi Anuj, nice to be in your stream. Just joined. Please tell me a brief on the outlook of gold. So the bias is buys, and right at this stage I am just waiting for another clear setup, and we are in the first minutes of the New York session open. So interested to see how the gold is going to move up here. So this trade was called out live before. I took a trade around here, and as I described, this is an advanced trade. So it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Yeah, looks like we're gonna tap that daily high today. If anybody is in this trade, you know, it does make sense to move up, but I'm not in it because we are only in the first 5 minutes of the New York Bank Open. Do I want to be a part of first 5 minutes of the New York Bank Open? The answer may be no. If I was 60 pips deep in profits, oh yeah. But I am happy with the 20 pips the market gives me. So I'm out of the market, see? Do you see what I mean? You cannot be greedy, man. Honestly, you have to set your parameters for greediness. You can be greedy for 10 pips. You can be greedy for, let's say, 8 pips. But you cannot be greedy and be stubborn in front of the market saying, you know what, I want 60 pips. If it's not going to give me 60 pips, I'm going to allow the trade to hit my stop loss. That's a stupid idea, right? So for now, from my position taking, it actually moved all the way up in about 50 pips. In about, let's say 50 pips, yeah. In about 50 pips. And as I said, this sort of position gives me in about 50 to 60 pips. I'm happy securing 20 pips. I even showed my terminal earlier. I actually showed my terminal where I took the position. In the YouTube, I actually showed the guys. Once I secured, I showed them. Sorry about that. And that was the only trade of the day. A small position, but gave me 20 pips. So it's good. It's all good. For now, I'm waiting for the price to make some sort of support in at least 15-minute time frame before it heads up. It's in a clear range right now in between 1890, 865, and 1902, which is about 30 pips of range. So there's a higher chance price in gold is going to move up than anything else right now. So we will see. we will see. You know, whatever I give out, the ideas in YouTube stream, the YouTube guys, if you actually note it down, that way it's going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a long way, because I'm thinking right out of my head. I'm not hiding anything. Honestly, I'm not hiding anything. Whatever value I have in my head, I'm explaining it to you guys, and I'm actually delivering to you guys in the best first-hand sort of a way experience, right? So if that was my first-hand experience, you better note it down, because it's going to help you. Whatever I'm talking about. So some of the guys in the YouTube have actually noted down things like, for example, Palin was talking about the triangle, so which is pretty good. You know, somebody was talking about, oh, you know, it's okay. I understand about you giving us setup, not giving us setup. That's the idea about being comfortable with your own trade rather than following somebody else's, right? I may call out quality trades here and there, which is comfortable to be taken by any beginner trader too, but for now, it is what it is. And all right, Saji here says he took a long around 1900s. Retrace short for a quick pip. Oh, you took a short? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if shorts are gonna be any good right now. I mean, if you secured it, if it worked for you, amazing. But yep, it's better for me to wait for a buy than anything. At least to start with, I need a proper 5-minute support than anything else. I need at least a 5-minute support. Looks like gold is moving up with a lot of volume. So if it's going to move up with a lot of volume, I need at least a 5-minute support to start with. 1 minute, price seems as if it's ranging side by side. As I said earlier, price may dip down very heavily. Price actually may dip down pretty deep before moving up, right? So for now, the best idea for me is to wait for a support to form before taking any sort of trade. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Alright, Palin here says, speaking of which, setting your profit parameters for profits that remind me of the movie Platform on Netflix, a great movie that helped reframe my psychology on risk management. Oh, interesting. Platform, is it? Okay, I'm gonna look at it. The Platform, it's a thriller sci-fi. Okay, interesting. Maybe I'll have a look later. 80% Rotten Tomatoes, oh no. 7 out of 10. Interesting.
Kafkaesque. Kafkaesque.
Kafkaesque. Is that how you say it? Kafkaesque.
Kafkaesque.
Kafkaesque. What was that?
Kafkaesque.
Kafkaesque. Kafkaesque. Kafkaesque.
Kafkaesque.
Kafkaesque. That's something new in my vocabulary. So the movie is Kafkaesque.
Kafkaesque.
That's what it says. The movie is
Kafkaesque.
That's right. Interesting. Yep, and the New York market is making the price of gold dip down a little bit here. It hasn't significantly broken any support for any scalping sort of a selling bias. For now, it seems as if price dipping down, retracing down, could be a build-up for a proper buys later on. So it does make sense for the price to further continue up because it has, sorry about that, it has already moved up pretty high, and it has moved up with clear candles. Makes a lot of sense. So we will see. Today. Yep, pound yen is still hanging around that area, but it does look very probable for pound yen to actually move down. It does make sense. And we are still waiting to see if there's a proper setup I can give out to my gulag buddies. I can actually give a proper setup. Okay, so that was 20 pips, 20 pips in gold. Gold. USD, the bias was explained, everything was explained about the trade as it was happening. 20 pips secured pre-New York. Pre-New York. Alright, so the previous 15-minute candle closed right around 1890, 865 level. There isn't a clear support that has formed in 15-minute time frame, and we are 15 minutes in the New York session already. Alright, so the idea for bias is building up, is something similar like this. It's something similar to this. This is going to happen here. Maybe that's going to happen there, right? So we talked about this idea the whole session. For example, we talked about how the recent price action is doing this. Look at this, price is making a step every time. It's actually making a step every time. And it's trying to move up. Is it actually moving up every time? Oh yeah, it does make sense. And there's clear traffic on the left hand side. If there's enough volume in the pair, the way it's moving, we can actually retest the daily high. I do see price of gold retracing the retesting the daily high. Interesting. For now, the 30-minute candle has 12 more minutes left and is still hanging around that 1890, 865 level. Okay. 5 minute and 1 minute. It looks like gold's gonna move up, man. Looks like gold's gonna move up here. We are 17 minutes in the London session, New York session already. 17 more minutes. 17 minutes in the New York session. I would love to see candle breaking the previous candle's high. This candle's high. on the break of the high could be an ideal position to enter for me, within about 24 pips of range on the upside, in about 15 pips of stop loss. So let's see. Let's see if I'm going to re-enter. Obviously, I'm going to enter with a smaller lot size. So we will see. We will see if that's going to play out here. For now, I'm just enjoying the price action, so we will see. Damn, I missed it today. Not gonna take any trade today. Ooh, Pips Nepal has missed the trade. Oh no. That's alright. You know, something like this is gonna happen. Not just today, but it's gonna happen in the coming days too. So maybe just show up early to your work. You know, if this is your work, you gotta show up early. Like a nice fella who shows up early to its work. So the current 30-minute candle has 11 more minutes left for its close. Looks like we are making the 15-minute support. I would love to see a support forming before we break the high. If it's going to move up, breaking the high before making a support, it's a little bit risky for me to take it. I would love to see candles making support. 15-minute candle at least making a support before moving up. I mean the 5-minute candle has made a support, right? So it does make sense for the price to move up. Yeah, it's a little bit risky, this one. A little bit risky. It's a little bit risky. 16, 15 pips of stop loss, 20 pips, okay. Okay, all right, 30-minute looks very nice to push up. Liquidity wick on the bottom does make sense, but the question is that enough? The question is that enough? And it's starting to push up pretty hard. And actually, this is the close of the 4-hour too, so this is something careful. This is something to be careful about, right? So we have seen candles, the higher time frame candles, for example, when the candles, when the higher time frame candle closes, it actually either retraces down pretty hard. This is something we've been talking about forever, or it actually pushes up pretty hard. If this candle is going to push up pretty hard, that does make sense. But I would love to stay away from the 4-hour close. If it's going to close with a retracement for now, that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary to me, right? But for the people who are happy securing 10 to 12, 15 pips, this could be an ideal entry right here on the break of the high. That could be the possible entry. That could be a possible entry. Yeah, I'm going to stay out of this position. I forgot that, you know what, 4-hour candle is about to close. Because this current 4-hour candle can easily retrace doing this. For example, the 4-hour candle's right now there. Either the 4-hour candle is going to push up heavily with enough volume, enough momentum. Either this candle can do something like this. For example, the wick is here. Either this candle can, oh, sorry about that. Either this candle can push up pretty heavy, retesting this previous high, right? It can actually push up heavily, or it can actually retrace back like this, making a 4-hour support, leaving a wick on the top like this before, sorry about that. So you can actually retrace down pretty hard before moving up. So it's still a little bit skeptical. I'm a little bit skeptical about this, because candles doing this is still valid for the price to move up. Candles doing this, making a proper 4-hour support, is still a good idea for the price to move up. So eventually, if the price is moving up, candles could retrace down pretty hard. Maybe that entry is not so good after all. You have to ask yourself if you're comfortable about it or not at the end of the day. You know, I'm staying out of it after I knew that, you know what, this is the 4-hour close. After I got to know that this is the 4-hour close, I'm staying out of the position. How about that? So note that down somewhere. Maybe it's going to help you back test some of the information out there. So it's better for me to wait. Okay, so we are waiting. And I'm gonna pour some cranberry juice for me. We will have some cranberry juice. And we are back to it again with a little bit of cranberry juice on the side. Amazing. And it looks like pound yen has actually dropped down here. Pound yen, we also talked about the technical aspect of how pound yen could move down, and it did move down. So a trade on the break of the 30-minute candles, a low around this area. Anybody who took a sell position around the break of this 30-minute candles low was a valid idea, with the stop loss around 9 to 10 pips above the current candle, and yeah, giving out for now. It has moved 10 pips from that position. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. And looks like pound yen is going to move down. And gold is pushing up nice and slow. The only thing about the gold right now, is the gold situation, is this is the close of the 4 hour, which actually gives me a big alarm in my head that, you know what, there's a chance the gold may retrace, there's a chance the gold may push pretty hard. So do I want to be a part of that retracement? Maybe no. So I just gotta stay a little bit patient and wait for my quality setup than anything else. Yeah, gold, pound yen did move down. Pound yen did move down. Beautiful. Beautiful. See, this is something you have to note down, right? This is something you have to believe. This is something you have to believe that, you know what? Prices move in a consistent way once there is a lot of volume, especially in a higher time frame sort of a structure. Price moves in such a consistent way. In the smaller time frame in pound yen, it was looking so hard to scale any sort of position. But look at this. We actually based our buys with sell in a higher time frame sort of a perspective. So the power of the triangle, again, one more time. The power of the triangle. Look at this. Right? And it does make sense for the price in pound yen to push down, isn't it? Obviously, in a 2 hour sort of a time frame, we had already done this. In a 2 hour sort of a time frame, we actually achieved the lower range, but for now, we are heading back to it again. We are heading back to it again. Look at this. Pretty good, isn't it? It does make sense for the price to head down, even lower. I mean, gold did pay my bills today, so I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. This is the setup I take every time. This is the setup right here. And it did work today as well. Beautiful. For now, 5 minute in gold ranging side by side. 15 minute trying to make that support here. If this 15 minute candle makes a support, amazing. Oh, Trey Mayan Bon Home says, took a sell, GJ sell on 2 hour break. Let's see. 2 hour break. 2 hour break. 2 hour break? Hourly break, do you mean to say? Okay, if you took a sell around here, oh yeah, does make sense why you took that sell, and it's moving nice and easy. Yeah, it's gonna drop down, man. It does make sense for the pound yen price to drop down, then push up or do anything else right at this time, because it's obviously volume time, and the higher time frames are moving in a smooth, consistent way. So yeah, does make sense. Oh, finally, we have reached 271 subscribers in YouTube. That is amazing milestone here. Amazing. Wow. Wowie kawaii. 4 hour candle in gold. Looking amazing. Amazing. 4 hour candle, the current 4 hour candle is looking fantastic. It's looking fantastical. It does make sense for the price to head up, you know, it's going to head up. It's actually going to head up. Yep, we are pushing. We are pushing. So we have made that 15-minute support around this 1898 level. We are breaking the high. Yeah, looks like I missed out on the buys here. But anyways, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's going to move up. Yeah, 100% it's going to move up. 100% is going to move up. So I didn't take this trade. Obviously, you know, I have to be honest with you guys. I didn't take this trade because in the back of the head, I'm only thinking about how this 4 hour candle is going to close rather than any movement. But it's actually looking like it's going to move up. Wow, it's going to push up, man. Whoever's into this position, whoever took a position around this level after the break of this high, if you took a position here, you're on the good side. Your stop loss is about 15 pips below the entry point, 15, 16 pips. Anticipating the price to further move up at least in this 20 pips range to give you 10 to 20 pips. Right now, the price from your entry point is in about 8 pips, 9 pips, now 10 pips. So try and secure your position as much as you can, because obviously it's a 4 hour candle close. So better be careful. It's gonna move up, and we're gonna retest the daily high. Beauty. Beauty. Beautiful. Baby. The daily candle looks so beautiful. We talked all about this at the start of the stream, how the candles are moving up in beautiful rejection sort of a way. It's moving way consistent. Beautiful. Beautiful. Baby. Nice. Pretty nice, isn't it? Looks like this 4-hour candle close is going to induce more volume than anything else. Beautiful. Who is in this trade? Yeah, beautiful. So from my original entry point, right at this time, from my original entry point, it has moved in about 60 pips. See, this is something I was talking about. So this sort of similar setups give me in about 50 to 60 pips, and I'm actually happy securing early in about 20 to 30 pips. So I'm pretty happy about the trade that I took early. I didn't call it out because obviously it was an advanced trade. So for now, it's moving up pretty nice. Whoever took an entry on the break of the high, I mean, you guys are on the good side right now. You must be in 15 to 13 pips of profit. So if you secure, you're on the good side. If you don't secure, I'm not sure how the market's going to play you off at the end. So be careful. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. Beautiful. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Beautiful. Looks like it's going to push even higher. Gold is going to push even higher. Gold is pushing up pretty hard. Pretty hard. In about 16 pips right now. So it's like you're going to get that 20 pips here. Whoever is in this position, 20 pips. Gold is doing amazing today. Amazing. Yep, and that's where you secure your profits. Look at that. You hit your TP. If you took a position on the break of the high, that's when you secure your position. 20 pips is giving you 20 pips. Be happy about it. If you're not happy about 20 pips, the market's going to be like, oh, you're not happy about 20 pips? Okay, I'm going to take your stop loss now. The market's going to be like that. Just imagine if the market's actually doing it. Just imagine the market actually talking back to you, saying to you, oh, you're not happy about 20 pips? Let me take your 20 pips to stop loss. Let me breathe on your principle. Ooh, it's moving up. It's moving so nice and crispy. From my original position, obviously I'm secure, you know. There's no need of doing this, but I'm just happy how the price action does these sort of things, right? From my original position, it moved about 75 pips. So that's something nice. That's something nice. And pound yen is pushing down heavily, you know. So that was amazing. So really enjoyed the price action today. Really did enjoy the price action. The selling idea in pound yen was also called out on the break of this candle's this candle's low. Obviously, it's moving down pretty nice here. It has moved down in about 13 pips right at this stage, but gold is paying a lot than anything else. Gold is pushing harder. So if this current 4-hour candle is pumping with a lot of volume, there's a higher chance it can actually break 1904.05 level and start heading up even higher. There's actually a chance. There is a chance it could actually tap this 1908.50 level. Da-da-dun, 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 da-da-dun. Bum, 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 bum. The daily candle is alive. It's moving up. Daily candle is alive and it's moving up. Yeah, whoever took that position, man, on the break of the high, you must be securing than anything else. So my spread in gold right now is 1.5 pips. So 15 points. In about 1.5 pips, 1.6, 1.7 pips, something like that. Usually around 1.5 pips, which is pretty good. This. Yeah, man, from your entry point, it moved about 30 pips. Amazing. Amazing. If you took it, you know, you should just secure your position, I think. Secure your position, manage your position. For now, there is nothing happening here. Looks like actually I can call it an early day today, isn't it? Looks like I can actually call it an early day. Beautiful. Yesterday had to wait until NYSE, had to wait until 15 minutes before NYSE to actually see prices moving. But for now, it's moving so well. What does spread 113 means? All right, the spreads 113 points mean it's 11 pips spread, which is a lot of spread. 113 points in gold is 11 pips, but maybe your brokerage does count your pips in a different sort of a way in gold. All right, so usually in gold, for example, 2-digit points is like, let's say your points in about 10 points or 15 points. So 10 points means it's 1 pip, and 15 points mean it's just 15 points means it's just 1.5 pip, right? But if your points 113, man, it scares me. I don't want to take a position when the spread's in about 10 pips. Come on, dude, 10 pips? What are you talking about, right? It's just crazy. So that's what happened in NFP. On the NFP night, I don't know what happened with my brokerage. They just offered me like in about 18 pips, in about 20 pips in spread, and that's crazy. Nobody wants to take a position when the spread is 10 pips, and I couldn't take any position in NFP. But anyways, it is what it is. Cannot change what happened at that time, so it is what it is. If your spreads are really high, you gotta complain it to your brokerage, saying that, oh, what's happening, man? You guys are trying to screw me over with your spread. I'm not gonna pay you 10 pips spread. You gotta talk to them, and they will fix it. If it's a terminal issue, they're gonna fix it. Okay, so the prices are retracing pretty hard in gold at this stage. Obviously, as we discussed, this could be a 4-hour candle close. And we know very well this 4-hour candle could actually retrace even lower. If it's gonna push up, it can actually push and break this high and tap into this cleaner range on the left hand side. But the candles may even retrace. We've seen that happening several times. And that could be a preparation for the preparation for the NYSE premium grab. And if the NYSE is going to grab its premium and is going to allow the market to move up even higher, even better. If the candles starts retracing down even heavily, you are on the good side because you have secured your position once. This position gave you about 10 to 20 pips. You should have secured. If you secure, amazing. And if it's going to dive even deeper, you know the consistent direction for the market. And if your bias is still bias, you just wait for a proper support to form. You just wait for the NYSE volume to come, and that could be your trade. Okay, so for now the candles are retracing down heavily below 1898.65 sort of a level. So if you actually took your position on the break of the high as we discussed it, man, you should have secured it, because for now it's actually retracing down pretty hard. Okay, sorry, I forgot to mention it's like 1980-100. What is that? What is the 1980-100? Your gold price. Okay, your liquidity feed is different. I see what you mean. The liquidity feed is from a different provider. I see, Mr. Pips Nepal. I see what you mean. I definitely see what you mean. All right, looks like pound yen has dropped pretty well here, looking beautiful. Beautiful. If you are experienced in the market and you read the market properly, you could have taken a sell, anticipating the price to move down. This is beautiful. We actually called out the sell from this 30-minute candles low being broken from here. Right, a sell was called out live too. So yeah, it's just about your experience, your personal first-hand experience in the market. How you have experienced the market and how you're comfortable. In what sort of position are you comfortable? Are you comfortable to take position? And all those stuff. You have to keep on asking yourself that question and do maximum back test. For now, the 4-hour candle is retracing down pretty heavy in gold. Look at this. And this was something we discussed already. Can you believe it? We actually discussed this before, and it's happening right now. So what does it tell you? Does it tell you to secure your profits once you're in some certain amount of profit? Yes, 100%. As a beginner trader, this is something you got to note down. See how the price actually moved? See how this current 4-hour candle moved? It retraced down pretty hard. We also saw a push on the upside. We also saw a pretty hard retracement. So if you go earlier into the stream, you will actually see me drawing the exact candle. This was the exact candle I drew. So what does that tell? Maybe that tells me that, maybe I have seen this candle sometimes. Maybe that could add up to my experience. Now you have seen this candle. You have seen this guy named Peeling Mindset on YouTube channel talking about this idea. Now you are experienced in the market in a way that, maybe at the time of the higher time from candle close, you could see heavy retracement. You could see heavy push. So that's what happened. And you actually translated that knowledge, and the knowledge would be, okay, so if the higher time frame candles retrace at the very end of the clock, what do? Do I manage my position? Oh yeah, that's the primary objective behind that concept. If the candles retrace heavily at the very end of the clock, what do? You just manage your position. Does that mean the trend is being changed? Maybe no. The trend is still bullish. The trend hasn't changed yet. This candle retracing down heavily doesn't tell us that, candles are moving down now. No. It doesn't tell us the trend has changed yet. It doesn't tell us the trend has changed yet. The trend is still bullish. How about that? For me, the bias is still bullish. This candle retracing down heavy is only a preparation for the NYSE market, the New York market, to grab its premium price before heading up. If this 4-hour candle finishes bullish, there's a very high chance of prices moving up than moving down. If the candles start moving down, oh, it is what it is. What can you do? Nothing. Except for now, relax and wait to see if the candle is pushing down heavy, right? So that's the only thing, man. 100% that's the only thing right now. If this current 4-hour candle finishes bullish, perfect. If it's going to finish bearish, oh, you got to be careful now. You got to be careful. There may be some selling opportunity coming in too, right? So that's how you translate the given information by the market to yourself. You have to translate one information into several things, right? Several aspects. That's what you do. That's what you got to do. On the YouTube, we got 19 views or 20 views today, and the likes in about only 9. We only got 9 likes on the YouTube channel. Come on. What's happening? What's happening on the YouTube channel? We got only 9 likes. Funny. Very funny. Anyways, so we will see. We will see how the 4-hour candle is going to finish here. The 4-hour candle has a flipped bearish, which is actually very fascinating for me, to be honest. Very fascinating. I was not expecting the price to actually dip down that hard. I was expecting the price to maybe dip down till this level and stay there, making some sort of support, but the price is actually dipping down even harder. So if this is a demand area, this right here, price is dipping down in that area pretty hard. Dipping down in that area pretty hard. Wow. Who would have known? Who would have known that the price in gold was about to dip down all the way down from the top here? From the clearest range in gold all the way down. Amazing. Is this like a news push that's happening? What's happening? Was there some sort of news in the market? Let's check if there was some sort of news in the market. Wow, it's actually a news pump. Looks like this could be a news pump here. There was a news about U.S. international trade in goods and services. This was a report about April, and this report has been sent in the online platform, and it's talking about how April and March has been a very low performing sort of a month for international trade. So that is something some of the traders out there keep their eyes open for, right? So trading, so international trade imbalance, international trade sort of report kind of thing. So maybe that's actually moving the market at this stage. And there's another news about Canadian merchandise trade. Interesting. Interesting. Maybe that's a news drop. Maybe gold is dropping down with this minor sort of news. I don't think this is a major news because this is a news. This is a report that has happened already in the April and March. It doesn't talk about this June's or July's potential outcome. So maybe the market's going to realize in the next few minutes that, you know what, whatever's happening right now, whatever the market is actually perceiving this message as, because this report here is only talking about how March and April actually performed in the past. Maybe there is a possibility that June may perform a little funny. But that doesn't mean a US dollar is getting stronger or getting weaker. It doesn't talk about anything like that. This is not the hardcore fundamental. This could be a news for now in a volume time to push the price down. This could be a kind of a manipulation as well. Could be. Maybe this is a final, this could be final premium grab before the price could head up. It doesn't make sense for this one hour candle, for this 1 5-minute candle to just burst down and do this. It doesn't make sense. But look at this. Looking at the channel for now, the price is actually interacting with the channel one more time, which is very interesting. Look at this. How the price is actually interacting with the channel. Has rejected the channel. Maybe the candle is going to start moving up one more time. Interesting. So we are going to get the NYSE push in the next few, in the next 35 minutes. So the NYSE open is in the next 35 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how the market's going to actually move. Okay. Always place a stop loss because gold can be quite bipolar sometimes. That's correct. Gold can be bipolar sometimes. That's actually correct. And that is correct. So for now, you can see the price in gold is actually engaging with the channel again one more time. And looks like this meltdown in gold was only because of this news report, the U.S. International Trade sort of report. It doesn't talk about June and July, the prospect of June and July. So maybe the market's going to recover soon. I'm actually expecting the market to recover. So hopefully we do recover. So it's actually talking about, it's a government site, government news site, talking about April's performance. Previous high, and you had it rejected and profit taking by bias. Jeevan is talking about how 1905 and 1910, okay, is a previous high, and you had it rejected and profit taking by bias. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Jackie, yeah, that does make sense. That actually does make sense. And for now, the price is actually dipping in this demand area. Could reject it anytime. Could reject it anytime. Could correct. Could recover from this funny sort of a push in gold. So we will see. Thank God I secured. See, you gotta be securing, man, your profits. There is no chance I'm gonna leave my money on the table. Once I hit my benchmark, I am out of the market. I'm out of everything here. Once I hit my benchmark, there's nothing else. There's no greed. There's no nothing. Gotta be smart, dude. Otherwise, the market's gonna play you off. Yeah, for now, the hourly candle is rejecting the bottom There's 1 more minute left for this hourly candle to close. So it looks like this is turning out to be a premium grab for a premium price grab for gold here. Looking at the 5-minute candle, prices of gold engaging with the channel does look interesting. Look at how the price is actually rejecting the channel and staying out of the channel. Look at this. Look at the 1 minute. It's actually really interesting, isn't it? We have 20 views. We have 20 views in the YouTube and only 10 likes. 10 likes only from my hardcore supporters. Interesting. And we have more watches, more views, but we only have a small number of likes. Why is that, right? Isn't it funny? A little bit funny, but it's all right. It's actually all right. It's actually all right. All right. All right. And pound AUD dropping pretty hard at this stage. Pound AUD on the 1 minute. Okay, that was 1 minute. So that's nothing. That's nothing. Let's look at pound USD. Pound USD. Our pound is just ranging side by side. Gold. Okay, gold has closed. Previous hourly candle has closed. We are 30 minutes away from the NYSE open at this stage. So interesting to see how the NYSE is actually going to move the price in gold, right? So it's very interesting. Right now, 1 hour candle bullishing up very close to the previous demand area. So this is something I've seen over time. What I've seen is prices, what they do is once they dive into this sort of demand area, this sort of liquidity pool, they start finishing bullish. If that's a demand area, price starts finishing bullish. So if that's actually going to happen here, it does make sense. And this price driving down could be a premium grab, as I've repeated the same thing now over the next 100 times. So it does make sense, okay? Interesting. Jackie M says, do you look at dollar index? DXY. I actually don't look at dollar index. I focus more on price action. So that this was one of the challenges I accepted for myself. So what I told myself was that, you know what? I am going to learn price action the best way possible. I'm going to train myself to see price action in the most fluid way. I want to be able to read price action than any other index, any other indicator, and that's one challenge I accepted for myself, and that has helped me a long way. Trust me, my profitability has come from understanding how price moves in a cycle, in around the end of the clock, around the mid section of the clock, around the start of the clock. That has helped me go a long way. I haven't watched DXY. We used to look at DXY dollar index before, but man, the main challenge for me was to understand price action. So help yourself by understanding price action than anything else. Right now, gold is retracing up pretty hard. So if this meltdown in gold was a minor news pump, a minor news pump that could be corrected fully, and that could only result in more volume in the pair to push it up, right? So 4 hour candle, previous 4 hour candle did close bullish. Look at this. So this is a clear 4 hour support. There's no doubt that this is not a support. Anybody can tell you that this is support, okay? So if the price is going to move up, it's very interesting. It's actually interesting. We are in the first hour of the 4 hour candle right now. We are in the first hour of the 4 hour candle. seems as if the price is actually respecting that demand area, support area, and the price is actually moving nice and slow towards the upside. Let's look at the 30-minute. Looking at the 30-minute candle, yep, prices are engaging with the channel one more time. Interesting, interesting. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Yep. All right, Jackie M says, I understand, brother. Sometimes looking at too many things could shift your bias and make some stupid mistakes. That's actually correct, you know. So if you look at some professional traders, the things they do, for example, the traits they have, if you actually start copying that, you're gonna move far ahead. For example, let's talk about Raja Banks, right? Raja Banks doesn't look at a lot of stuff. He's a very clever guy. He understands price action and he sticks with it. He doesn't care about any other indicator. He doesn't care about anything else. I know he used to use a lot of indicators in the past, and the same challenge he took was to understand how actually price moves. And after understanding exactly how price could move in a certain cycle, in a certain session, that's what helped him. And that's what has helped me too. Yeah, Raja doesn't look at DXY as well. I know he doesn't. He just cares about the volume time and price structure, how the price is reacting at that day. You know, that sort of thing. For now, the price is actually starting to move up. It doesn't make sense for this 1-2 candle to push the price all the way down. It doesn't make sense, right? So that could be corrected. I can tell you this already. That could be corrected. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. And we are getting closer and closer to the NYSE. So the NYSE is going to come in the next 24 minutes. I'm very excited to see how the NYSE could push the market somewhere, all right? So let's look at the current 4-hour candle bullishing up pretty hard. Is moving up through that clear range on the upside. So very interesting, very interesting. 2-hour candle. 2-hour candle seems as if it's arranging side by side. So that range on the upside could be filled easily. So the current hourly candle bullishing up nice and slow does make sense. Current 30-minute candle bullishing up does make sense as well. 15-minute candle, we're still there. 5-minute candle, we're going to close the next 2 minutes. And we are slowly bullishing up. We are slowly creeping our way to the upside. Interesting. Wow, the likes on the YouTube has reached plus 17. This is 17 likes. Amazing. This is the power of the community, right? I love this. I actually love this. We were just talking about the views, and now the friends are actually shooting up like nothing. That's amazing. See, your love and contribution actually helps growing the community. The algorithms finally recognize our small channel, our small community, where we are talking about ideas, all the trading values for free, without nothing. We actually just giving it out, right? So from the beginning of the stream all the way till the end, I'm actually showing a lot of energy, passing out my values to the guys. So finally, the algorithms actually recognizing us just because of your like button. just because you, the YouTube community, smashing that like button. So this is amazing. Actually amazing. I love it. I love the community support. 100%. And definitely we're going to shoot more things, more values out to the community. So there's a high chance this this meltdown in gold is going to be corrected in the next few minutes. So we'll love to see if NYSE is going to gather some sort of volume, some sort of order to push up. So let's see. So the 15-minute candle in gold is going to close in the next 6 minutes. It seems as if it's actually interacting with the channel here. Look at this. Prices interacting with the channel. Interesting, isn't it? Oh, Anonymous Zet says, enjoying this. Amazing. If you enjoy this, perfect. That's all. Enjoy Forex. See, it's no pressure. It's a carefree environment where you have your freedoms. It's amazing. Forex is actually amazing, isn't it? It's actually amazing. You can get real values out of the community for free. There's a lot of people helping out people for free in the Forex community, whereas there are some of the people who actually rip other people off in a very bad way. So you got to stay aware of that situation too. But man, once you learn the ins and outs of the Forex market, the price action, you are up for some game. So Pips Nepal says, will you be doing will you be doing New York session when Roger Banks is back? Yes, that's correct. I will be doing New York session. So obviously Raja has his own community and he has grown that huge community already. So it's actually a new challenge for me to help out people and help grow this community of my own, you know, a new bond with the YouTube friends and stuff. So where I can share my thought process, my journey of my Forex into my platform, this YouTube channel. All right, so this is what we're doing here. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Amazing. Amazing. Rachel Wong says, is the bias bullish to 1905? Yes, that's correct. That is correct. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, looking at pound yen. Let's look at pound yen and see what pound yen is doing here. Yeah, pound yen. Pound yen is doing what it's doing. See how I was actually talking about how when candles move with a long wicks, you have to try and stay away from it. This is something I backtested over some time. I would love to stay away from candles when it moves like this. See? As you know, I didn't take any trade. I called out the trade, but I didn't take it because I was not happy about how the candles were moving. Not a lot of volume, a lot of wicks up and a lot of wicks down. So when you backtest your setups, when you backtest market situation from the past, you will see something like this happening. So this is sort of like a cycle. Market moves really well over a month, over 3 months, over a quarter of a year, sort of an interval. It moves so well, so consistent, and all of a sudden the market starts performing so bad, right? So this is the time when you have to stay out of the market and choose maybe another instrument with similar sort of price action abilities, right? So for example, I trade pound JPY. I used to look at only pound JPY because this is something my mentor was specialized in, and I wanted to learn everything he did, everything that was talked about in the stream. So I focused on pound yen, but this focusing on only one pair also helped me to understand how possibly pound USD moved, how possibly pound AUD moved, and also gold moved over time. So that actually helped me a lot, right? So I know that when the prices are moving like pretty bad, performing bad like this with wicks on the top, wicks on the bottom, looking very ugly, I'm out of that market. So obviously I called out the trade, but the wicks doesn't make me confident, right? So that's just the way. That's just the way. All right, so Rachel Wong says, "You did. Why didn't you take the gold trade, boss?" Oh my God, I'm a boss here. Okay, interesting. Why didn't I take the gold trade? I took a gold trade earlier on, so I actually managed to secure 20 pips with a smaller lot, and I'm happy about it. I can actually call it a day, and I can take a break for tomorrow already. But you know, this is what it is. The community is growing up, and it's okay for me to stay until the NYSE happens. And it's actually okay, and it's actually interesting for me to see if the price action that I dictated, if the price action that I noted before about, you know what, this push could be corrected. I'm interested to see if that's going to actually happen. That's the only reason I'm waiting here. So for now, taking a buy right now doesn't make sense for me because we are 16 minutes away from the NYSE. And NYSE market can as well actually dip the gold's price even lower before heading up. So this is NYSE. That's why you have to know what's happening around you. If you don't know what an NYSE session is, go to Google, okay? That's where you search what is NYSE session in Forex or something. And you will know. You will know that this is one of the times throughout the day where there's a lot of volume. This is one of the times where there's a lot of volume in the market. So, yeah, you have to clearly pick and back test these sort of times. For example, you have to know what happens around New York Open. What happens maybe possibly 15 minutes before New York Open, at the time of New York Open, maybe the next 15 minutes after the New York Open. So you have to back test and see, visualize, make a note. And it's the same thing about NYSE. For example, a new heavy volume inducing market session is being opening up. For example, NYSE. So what happens 15 minutes before that session? What happens at the market open? What happens 15 minutes after? You have to make a note of it. 100% make a note of it. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so Rachel Wong says bonds drop, gold goes up. No, not necessarily, Rachel. Not necessarily. Every pair can independently move in its own direction because it's its own pair. You know what I mean? So bonds act different, but we have seen some correlation in U.S. bonds and some worldly renowned bonds and gold. But definitely, gold itself has its own qualities. It's one of the top safe havens out there, globally accepted. So you have to backtest, man. You have to make a note. Yeah, that's all I would have to say. That's all. Just give me a second. I'll get my cranberry fill up here. Cranberry fill up. All right, so the gold is moving up nice and slow. Looking at the 1 minute, look at this. So the price actually reacted with the channel several times before moving up. So very interesting. Yep. Oh, look at this. We have 19 likes in the YouTube. Ooh, that's pretty hot. 19 likes on YouTube. Wow. Wowie kawowie. That is interesting. That is actually interesting. Go up, pound yen is moving down nice and slow. This is beautiful. If anybody took a trade in pound yen for a selling position, the best idea is to secure and manage your trade. For now, gold is hanging around that area. Looks like 2-hour candles are moving side by side. It almost seems as if an hourly candle, looking at the hourly candle, it's actually moving from side to side, right? So the minor news report, sort of a meltdown in gold, is expected to be corrected. Obviously, we are 10 minutes away from the NYSE pump, so we'd love to see how the NYSE is actually going to drive the price in gold. For now, the 15-minute candle is breaking the previous 15-minute candle's high. Seems like it's actually going to move up here. There's a high probability of the price moving up than anything here. We hit that 20 likes. Look at that. That's the power of the community. We finally hit that 20 likes. 20 likes in the community. That is the power. That is the power. Actually very nice. Eight minutes before NYSE. And we are still hanging around. Alright, so guys, it looks like I'm gonna call it a day here. Obviously we secure some profits here in gold, and whoever took that pound yen sell, that was the trade of the day. Right, pound yen sell and gold was the trade of the day. So obviously, if anybody is looking for buying sort of a setup in NYSE, it does make sense. It still does make sense. Even if this previous 30-minute previous hourly candle closed bearish, it still does make sense for a buying sort of a scenario. Okay, so just look and see if you can get a stronger support, maybe potentially a 30-minute support. And maybe if the NYSE volume starts pushing the price up, it's no wonder. Just don't overtrade. The main idea is don't overtrade, right? So that's the main idea. Have a beautiful day, guys. Until next time, I'm going to say bye-bye. Take it easy. And thank you very much. Thank you for the love and support in the YouTube community. You guys are the best. You guys are the amazing. Actually, this is the celebration for the YouTube guys. Whoever took any sort of trade today, if you actually could anticipate the trade I took and you actually played along with the trade, if you secure your positions, if you listen to all of the trade management ideas, this celebration is for you guys. The celebration is going to happen in the next 3 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Bang! That's it. That's for you guys. Whoever took it, that's for you guys. Okay, that celebration is only for you guys. And make sure you have fun as you're learning. If you will have fun doing Forex, doing trading, learning is only going to be another fun chapter in your life. Don't make it hard and complicated. Don't hurt yourself. As you're learning, as you're trading, just make it easy and fun for yourself. Don't overtrade, don't over risk. Just have fun and enjoy the price action. Do your prediction, do your analysis, do journaling. 100% do your journaling. You know, journaling helps a lot. Until then, take it easy. Okay, take it easy, and I'll see you guys next time. See you later, Jamil. See you later, Jose. See you later, Saji. Take care. Oh, Blackpool Market says, hey, good luck for the session ahead. Wow, interesting. Blackpool, interesting. Blackpool Markets are here. That's interesting, isn't it? It's actually very interesting. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later.